Peace FM 104.3. Good to meet you.
Back and forth, no. Has ended. And they have decided they will go back to the wards to go and we shouldn't have gotten to this point if everything had gone on well. Story is this negotiation had gone on sometime last year, and it was to be implemented. And I said, the decisions were supposed to be implemented by 1st July 2024. However, another group of nurses, who are the psychiatric nurses, they stepped in and saying they were not consulted, and I said they didn't have any input into this particular way, and it shouldn't be implemented. Out of that, then they went to court. That is the psychiatric nurses. They then went to court just to frustrate this particular thing. And as some no courts are even up to now, where at a point in time they had to do a out of court settlement, and as an ADR. Okay, and they talked about how even the lawyer in question, for the psychiatric nurses, he also made certain demands on them. Now it's almost an illegal fee, where 300,000 Ghana cedis. So, no, so crab, but Daniel Sema, and also until he agreed on taking 100,000 Ghana cedis, so that he could also, a friend saying, allow the negotiations to go through, and then eventually they did the out of court settlement. It went on up to this year January, and the nurses were able to now put their demand before the current government. Okay, late January. By which time, I think a budget had been prepared, or the budget was almost prepared. So the Mahama government couldn't, said they needed time to study the whole thing before, and then kind of factor it into their budget with plans and so on. So they couldn't agree on it. So it is not as though, from the interactions so far, it is not as though nobody was committed to it. But to have insisted, you are not going to go to the ward to go and treat people, to go and treat patients because your demands haven't been met. It hasn't been factored into the budget way. I think for me it wasn't proper. The negotiations would have to go on until such a time when everybody had agreed, okay, this is what we're doing. Then we can have the system run the way it's expected to run. Beyond that, Kadna, it's where I hear that the government during the negotiation was saying, listen, they can implement this sometime next year, by which time it would have been factored into the budget. The nurses insisted, said no, they don't like that one, and that they want it here and now, because having decided with the previous government and then having been signed and so on, it should be binding on the current government. The current government says that, listen, I have not had time to go through all this and then factor it into my projections and so on. So it's going to affect me. The two parties couldn't agree on anything. And so then the strike came. People, according to the stories, mortuary men, the mortuary attendants came telling us, almost at the point in time, they noticed the number of dead bodies that were coming to the mortuaries had gone up. I thought that was needless. We shouldn't have gotten to a point where people will have to die because nurses had refused to go to the wards. Their work is very critical. It's so essential. as far as the country is concerned. And just imagine, say, Oyari, Dr. Hell, he's moved on to another patient. But then the nurse who is supposed to continue and then even ensures that, oh, we draw or the abrel at a point in time, pania or the abrel, if with the oxygen, so she's coming, he or she also is checking it to ensure that, okay, the thing is you are getting the right amount of oxygen. So that drip, so are you getting the drip at the time? I also, medicine is supposed to be timed and so on. And in the absence of a very qualified person to do that for you, you could lose your life.
Peace FM 104.3. Good to meet you.